What's up, guys? It's Rick Ginn on Flip with Rick. And today we're talking all about how to go from broke, which was AKA me, to making $1 million in wholesaling real estate in 2026. And it most of you massively overcomplicate this. And I want to break it down today, make it super simple. Yeah, it's Rick. Um, I'll fill you on where Zach is. But I want to get straight to the point. So I love it. Sometimes I hang out in the studio. I'm doing work. I was actually finishing up on some financials and a deal we're working on, and I actually really enjoy the comments. It's entertaining, and I want to give a shout out to everybody that helps answers questions. So it is a lot of work running multiple businesses and making sure we connect with you. But if anything, I'm going to teach you today is all about consistency and how to go from no money to $1 million. And most of you don't even understand how to do it. And I'm going to take my real life practical experience and I'm going to share with you. So, what I'm going to try to do today, just bear with me. I just don't have the best handwriting. Um, Handwriting is not going to make you any money. So, I'm going to draw out on the whiteboard on the screen and I'm going to walk you through the stages. And hopefully, you guys can help participate and fill in some of the blanks. I find a lot of people get in wholesaling get so excited in the beginning, and then they just get lost after that 90 to 180-day period. So I'm going to basically build the cycle and show you exactly how this works. And then we have some time. We'll deep dive. If you have a question, for God's sakes, put it in the comment. Hopefully it's about wholesaling, real estate, something like that. Some of the comments the last 30 days have just, it's flattering, like all the comments, but like seriously, guys, how you use this live stream will ultimately dictate how well you'll do in wholesaling. And when I say well, I don't like that word. Either you kick ass or you don't. And so this live stream, if you have a question, put it in the bottom. I hope people are being joking. I'm seeing some of the comments kind of funny. So it's like, I come on like as soon as I possibly can. I actually run a wholesaling business. I have a lot of employees. I have multiple offices, and it takes a lot of work to do what we do. So this wasn't put together overnight, and I'm going to teach you how to put an entire wholesaling business back in here. So if you're up to it, I would like to get some participation in this. I'll explain where Zach is. Don't worry about it. I don't want to waste time on doing that now. Yes. Well, those of you that know, but some of you don't know, and we'll fill you in on it. So today we're going to talk all about the cycles. How do I get to this $1 million? Because the problem is most of you guys just need to focus on getting your first deal. And you're so focused on getting $1 million, but I'll show you how to get that first deal and how to scale your business and work its way up. So if you can bear with my penmanship, as usual, if you're brand new to this site or you go, hey, what's this guy rambling about? What the heck is it? Go over to freewholesaling.com. This is a 100% free course. Remember, everybody out there told me it would never work. It's never been tried before. You won't make a lot of money. I go, crap, dude. I make so much money wholesaling. I could care less. So if you're a full-time coach and I did freewholesaling.com, here I am 5 years later. Remember all the stuff you told me and Zach? We're still here. We're actually the largest wholesale. We have the largest school group. Thank you, Mr. Alex Hermosi. We're being recognized. Well, you'll see. And that is attributed all to you guys. So just so you know, all we do is focus on you guys. So all I do is talk about wholesaling. Go to freewholesaling.com. If you don't know what it's doing, you're considering buying a course, make sure you compare it to our course. If it's better and you're okay with the money spent, God bless you. I'm fine with it. I think you're going to struggle with that decision, but make sure, because we are the only ones that put metrics up, give complete transparency so you can find out if you're actually getting value for what you're spending. A lot of courses they can anywhere from a couple $1,000s up to 10 grand. Make sure you have someone that's experienced, has a nice depth course. And if it measures up to freewholesaling.com, I say go for it. I actually bless you. I have no problem with mentors, trainers, and coaches. The problem is you got to get through this C. And wholesaling seems to be where everybody kind of convolutes and they attack. So I don't want you to go through that. God knows I went through it. Zach went through it. Most of you on the stream have gone through it. So the course is completely created for you on there. So put in your questions. I promise you, I will rip through them. That and guys, listen, I see a lot of your questions about cold calling and stuff. Put them all in there, and we'll get through it. But I want to let just get into it, and we'll have. I love the questions, man. So I'm going to just keep highlighting every questions, and we'll take like 15, 20 minutes at the end and get through it. So put in a question or just be a little bit patient, and I will get back to them, and let's get into it. So what I'm going to do is attempt to share my screen here, and let's go. So I'm a visual guy. I like to do visual. Let's see if I can put myself down in the corner to give us more real estate on the screen here. Now, you know what? I think you get more real estate. I think you can see it better. Dude, do not give a guy with ADHD too many freaking options, if you know what I mean. Now I lost my original screen. Where is it? No, that's even smaller. Heck, let's go back to this one. We're fine. Okay. Actually, oh, that's interesting. Don't give me too many toys to play with. I get in trouble here. Okay. So we're talking about what it takes to get to $1 million. And most of you, I'm going to explain, 90% of you are going to fall into this trap. Here's the good news is I've been through every phase, and I've taken, ready for this, tens of thousands of people through these stages. And most of the time, why most people quit wholesaling is they don't understand the life cycle of how a wholesaler works. So the reason we created freewholesaling.com is so we could get everybody the opportunity to get through it. So many people were taking advantage of, with a 95% failure ratio on wholesaling courses. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I put my butt out there. I give out a free course. I got nothing but crap for 3-4 years on it. And now it's complete crickets. You know why? Because everybody has options. And I do it as a marketing and a service to you guys. So if we know that, I'm going to share with you the trap. Most of you are going to fall into it. And I promise you, coming from a guy who was a mediocre student, went through college, hated every day of it, literally hated every day of it, and all the crap going on around all the countries of the colleges, it's 100 times worse. And I don't even know why someone would even consider going to college that wants to do business. If you have to do it for your field, engineering, medical, law, I get it. But past that, I think I'm just afraid. Both my kids went to college, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, but they didn't pay a dime out of their pocket. And if you can do it that way, God bless you. If you're going to go deep in the debt, you are going to get killed in business. Because without that government back funded on these school loans, no bank on earth would ever give a loan, because it's one of the worst investments you can ever make. So it's so funny. I love people make comments like that. That's so cute. She wants me to get to the point. So this is one of the problems with wholesaling right here. Get to the point. They just want a quick answer. And I guarantee this person right here, DTA, LEA, media, lighting, audio, and vibe, it looks like they're pretty much a 9-to-5er. They just want a quick answer, and they don't want any explanation. Just tell me how to do it. You're the reason why you'll be a 95% stat. I'm going to tell you the truth. Don't get hurt. It's just a God honest truth. Okay, let's dive into it. So bear with my handwriting. I love the comments. They're cute. But those of you who want to get out of the rat race and get this going on, comments like that is the problem in wholesaling. And I use that as an example. And I'm not picking on them. And don't worry, you're not blocked on the channel or anything like that. I'm just saying, making instant comments like that. So I got 24 years experience. I have no financial issues. I never have to work another day in my life. And you're telling me to get to the point. Enough said. Does everybody understand that? It doesn't make sense to do that. So they'll be instantly be a 95% stat. I guarantee it doesn't matter if they pay 10 grand and they get it free from me and Zach, because I just want the cheat code. I want that little pill that I will be super thin. I'll have ripped abs and I never have to do anything. I can eat whatever I want. That's the big problem with society. That's why you'll always have to go to your job and you'll always have to show up and perform till the day you die. So let's go through it though. So look, here's brutal honesty right here. Hey, I need help. So hear me out. Free channel, you have the right to make the comment. I can block you if you want. I do this for like learning purposes. So let's go. So let's start off. Everybody starts off wholesaling. So what I'm going to do is I got to jump in this other screen. So let's do this here. The easiest way to do this. So I got to draw lines, which sucks. But I'm going to draw a line here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. I think I need 6 total. Okay. I'm doing the best I can. My handwriting, bear with me. I am going to draw a timeline to get the $1 million. And we're going to just kind of keep breaking this down. Oh, I hit a button there. Okay. So the first column, 1, 2, I missed one more line. Okay. Got it. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see that. Sorry about the crooked lines, and we go from that. So what we have to understand is this is going to be what we call the stage. And I'm going to get audience participation, and we are going to mark the stage. So we're going to do this in first 2 phases. We're going to do from 0 to 180 days, because that is where most of you are getting wiped out. And then I'll do 180 to 365, because it's much clearer and it's a more advanced strategy. So if we know that going into that, we are going to mark this as the first 30 days. Now, what I want to do, if I could change colors, I'd do it, but I don't want to do that. There's 1, 2, 3. So the first thing I do is identify the stage we're in. I'm trying to figure out where to draw lines here. Okay. Well, whatever. I made some notes here on that. This is your drive. This is what's inside of you that makes you want to do wholesaling and makes you show up every day. And you have to understand that. And I don't have the eraser here. Let me see if I have the eraser on this sucker. And this one in here is going to be the skill sets that you have to master this. So this is a timeline, guys. It goes this way. And we're going to do the first 30 days. I'm not as fluent. Honestly, I'd be better off with an old school whiteboard, but you guys kind of get the drift of it. So stage 1, from 0 to 30 days, I want you guys to give it a name. And we are going to label this and make you understand how this works. Hold on. Okay. So stage 1, from 0 to 30 days, what would you guys possibly call it in wholesaling? Because I've heard every word. I've heard the nicknames. It's absolutely nuts what we call this stage. I have a name for it, but I would love to get your guys' feedback and go, okay, what with 0 to 30, what do I call that? Is it I think everyone's super excited during the stage. I think they're like, oh my God, I'm going to make $1 million. And this is where it starts. And this is where you have to understand this. Does everybody understand this? Give me a name in the comments, what you call the 0 from 30 to stage. Use your own experience. I have my own ideas. I'm not here to the newbie stage, the delusional stage. I love this stuff. I wouldn't call it delusional, but it's a good one. Keep popping them up there and let's pick one and come to a unanimous thing. Honeymoon stage, dude, that's good. Derek, very good. Honeymoon stage is probably the winner right now. I should give away some prizes, what I should do. You guys got to participate because I'm not going to sit here and lecture all day. Implementation, reality check, analysis paralysis. The motivation phase, that's a close scared stage, honeymoon phase. Okay. So let's go with it. Let's go with honeymoon stage. That's perfect. I'll give Derek credit and give Mark a secondary on it. I did like the other one. It said the motivation phase. So we're going to keep all this in mind. So if we call that, oh, I got to jump over on the other screen here. Honeymoon, right? And guys, you ever been on a honeymoon? Now everything's so perfect. I married the perfect spouse. He or she's beautiful. They have no flaws. They're amazing. Nothing's wrong. Dude, I got married. Listen, I'm still in the honeymoon phase. At least I tell my wife that, because if you don't treat your spouse or your significant other and appreciate them every day, you're never going to appreciate the relationship. It's going to fall apart if you can't grow in every day. So, what are the biggest skill sets you need to have in the 30 days? Here's a next test. What are the biggest skill sets you have to have in your first 30 days to even survive the first 30 days? Everybody survives the first 30 days. What's the number one skill set you need to master when you start wholesaling? Is it mastering contracts? Is it negotiating? Is it underwriting? Guys, type it in there. Let me know what differentiates this stage. Listening, dude, that's actually brilliant. And he's got the right name, Ricky. So it is. It's marketing, guys. I just want you to understand. So the thing is, I know I'm in the teaching phase here, but I am redundant on purpose because that's how you learn. Go look from the masters, Bill Belichick and stuff like that. Everybody has a job they have to do. If you don't do your job, the team fails and we have no shot at winning. So we are our own employee. We are all the employees put together. We have to master and understand. And I'm going to tell you, I think listening is absolutely amazing. Like that is a brilliant insight on it. So let's go in here and put the skill sets you need in your first 30 days. And we have to prioritize them. That's why I put all these extra lines on here. So if I go in here, marketing, guess what I'm going to put second? I'm going to put marketing again. And then I'm going to put marketing again. You get my drift, guys, here, guys. And then we're going to put listen. Okay, guys, trust me, you do not pay me for my handwriting, and I don't care. Actually, I spent a lot of time, a lot of time with Tony when I was young. I couldn't even read what he wrote on the board. So I know I'm not in my own class. I think the worse your handwriting, actually, usually the more profitable you are, because I don't obsess over spelling and handwriting, even though I'm actually a really good speller. Okay, so what drives the first 30 days? What drives the first 30 day for the average wholesaler? Let's keep going here. Just whatever comes to your mind, just pop it up. What drives somebody to get into wholesaling? And what makes them go, man, I'm taking the plunge, man. I want to get rejected till I churn blue. Pulling list is actually very good. And I'm going to add that when I hop back in here. So what drives people to get into wholesaling and what pushes them through the first 30 days? Is it just quick money? Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct, but it's the first thing that will kill you on it. The first check, the proof of concept, no choice. Everybody has a choice. I've never seen anybody forced to do wholesaling. Money is going to be the predominant answer, 30K in 30 days. This is why we have a 95% failure ratio. So if I go back to the person that commented, just get to the point, that's what gets the problem. Hope, circumstance, stability, a future. Shit, I'm going to get in trouble here. I'm fired up today. I'm freezing my butt off in Florida, and I do not like this. I have the heater going on in the office. Getting out of the rat race. That was me. Okay, see, this is exactly what's going on. Perfect. Getting out of the rat race, freedom, the whole 9 yards. I don't know about you. When I sat in school and a teacher lectured me, dude, I was done. So if I jump back to this, let's keep going here. Now, you know what? List pulling is part of marketing. I'm going to simplify this. I will tell you this is the biggest freedom is freedom. Okay. And let's be honest with you, most people are just super excited. I've never met anybody who got into wholesaling that wasn't excited. The problem is this excited, it's got a lot of hanging crap on it. So guys, have you ever had something you've been so excited for? In the comments, tell me what happens when you get super excited about something. What happens to your mind? Like, I find when you get super excited about something, like you ever got so excited and bought something, you go, "Oh my God, this is gonna solve all my problems," and you buy it, use it once or twice, you go, "Dude, that sucked. That was terrible." And I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not putting money up there on purpose. Because one of the biggest failures is people go, I got to make 30K in 30 days. Although I want everyone to do it. What happens if you don't make 30K in 30 days? You're going to quit. And when you get excited, you pay attention, you get like the Rick ADHD like bug, and you throw caution in the wind. And I find when excitement comes into something, there's a healthy dose and then there's a very unhealthy dose. And when the excitement turns to you blocking all your normal receptors, like, hey, man, this is perfect right here. This is where I'm getting at. It gives you clouded judgment. It's just the truth. Now, I'm a marketing expert, and I know if I can get anyone excited, a seller, a buyer, you guys, I can pretty much get you to buy anything. I know no one will say that out loud. I'm just telling you. Excitement means you can get people to do stuff normally they might not do because they believe it's going to solve a problem. So if you have clouded, here's the next one. Here's the best part. Emotional. Look at this. This is great stuff. Over expectations, dopamine excess. God knows I got that. And I'm telling you, this is the problem this is why we have such a massive failure rate in wholesaling, because people get so excited. Who gets you excited? Mostly marketers. That's a marketer's job. Why do you buy products that you don't need in your life? Because you got excited about it. And that excited will peak your dopamine. And it is a level, I promise you this, you cannot sustain it. So here's what I want you to understand. The main thing in this first 30 days, if you want to survive, I'm going to put a special note down here, is it's simple. You have to have your why. Now, you guys put in the comments while I'm talking here what your why is, what your drive. Your why should be so simple and so clear that you can spit it out to anyone. And here's a little hint. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Do not use a Sharpie, use an erasable marker and put it up there. This is what got me through my first year of wholesaling. Because I promise you, there's going to be days where you go, I don't know why I'm even doing this. If you don't know why you're doing wholesaling, I'm just going to move you into that 95% failure ratio. This is why people go, oh, get to the point, because I don't want to learn. I just want the result. I want to lose 50 pounds, but I don't want to do any of the work. I want to make $1 million, but like, just give me the $1 million, because give me the secret to making the $1 million. I'm telling you, if you do not start with this fundamental part, you are doomed in the honeymoon stage. Does everybody understand that? I can't emphasize this enough. If you just get stuck, and this is where everyone starts. Okay. Let's keep progressing, because we got to figure out how to make $1 million. Like, end of story. So the next one is, oops, let me jump over here. It's a pain in the butt. We're going to jump over to the next phase, which we're going to go down here. And our next phase is to the 60 days. Now, a lot of you are already in this right now. Some of you are right here in the 30 days at the end of, we're in January now. So this is your 60-day mark. So at 60 days, what happens in 60 days? And what is the title of this stage at 60 days? Don't worry, this is going to progress very, very fast. I promise you, I won't waste your time. 60 days, 9 to 5 ever stage, 60 days, high and crash. Let me put the comments up here. I got high and crash. Awesome, Jeremy. I've got the 9 to 5. What would you call it? Because I actually have a nickname for this. I'm gonna say, oh my God, dude, this dude's hitting it out of the park, man. That's what I would call it. I'm looking for a better name. The sales Bible. Nah, that's not gonna work. The 10-year vision, maybe. Reality. Listen, reality doesn't kick in because you still have a hangover from the honeymoon period. Like my wife, my kids. Okay, easy, guys. Um, so the deal stage, not bad. What else we got? Give me 2 more, and then we'll put it up here. I'll put you. I already told you what mine would be. Okay, let's just go with that. So on this one, we are now in the what I call kind of the grind stage, but you still got a smile on your face and things are happening. So what are the biggest skill sets that you have to have in the grind stuff? You got through the first 30 days, you probably hammered away on your list. You got your list. Either you started cold calling, you started texting, you set up your X Leads account, you did all this great stuff. Like what on and I'm not talking about that one hit wonder that gets 5 contracts right off the bat. And by the way, I see it more times than many, but that's not the norm. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born yesterday. We have to move through this phase. And on this phase right here, I'm seeing it. Guys, we haven't even hit the boredom stage or anything like that. Is once again, what is the biggest skill set here? Watch this. This is crazy. Marketing. Because, guys, if you don't market, don't worry about negotiating. Don't worry about being a master closer. Oh, no, no, no. I'm just going to go get PPL leads and I'm going to do PPC and I'm going to pay an advertising agency. Good luck. I hope you got a deep bank account because you probably got in this because your bank account's hurting and you're not getting anywhere. If you're tired of being broke, you got to open up and change your ways you're going to do this. So most people in this are going to focus on marketing. You're going to get a crash course on how to qualify a motivated seller, and you're going to understand the skill sets of ODN. You need to find off-market properties, direct the seller that needs to sell. And let me tell you what, if you don't figure out this N, you're going to get excited and you are going to be offered every course in the world out there. And they're going to tell you how they can fill your inbox with motivated sellers till you churn blue. Just pay the subscription rate, go get all these services, or I will teach you for $5, $7, $10,000 and I'll show you exactly how it's done. I'm not saying it's the worst option, but if you're broke, it's not even feasible. Does everybody understand that? So at this stage, it's marketing, it's qualifying, pulling your list, and understanding, am I getting in front of people that need to sell? What's the litmus test for this? If they just want to sell, you're wasting your time. End of story. I only deal with people who have to get rid of a property. If you think you're going to convince realtors and people on the open market, you got a shot, but I promise you, you will get your butt kicked on doing it. So what else in the grind stage? What other skill sets do people have to have? I'm listening. I am wide open on this. Guys, I'm not going to sit here and just fill this whole thing out. Dude, bingo. Jeremy got it right here. Follow up. You are going to have to learn to follow up people, and understanding no just means they don't have enough information to make a decision. You can't listen when you get in pulling list, you're going to have to learn how to deal with rejection. So I'm going to go ahead and put in follow up because follow up means I'm just going to keep going till I buy from you or you basically cut me off. And most of you don't have this skill set because you've been trained your entire life. If somebody says no, or I'm not interested or ghost you, you just give up. That's for quitters, man. Do you really think I got to this point by never following up people? I'm relentless. And I would use the other word, just relentless follow up on there, but I want to simplify it for you. So let's go to the last part, guys. This is the stage where excitement got me here. Oh crap. I'm in a red Ferrari and it's running out of gas. How do I keep the momentum going? And this is where a lot of you are right now. And let me tell you, I love the word faith, but faith ain't going to help you. Okay. Perseverance, I like it. I don't know what the actual perseverance is, just moving forward in spite of what's in front of you. Fear, that's a good one, Mark. Try to build relationships to solve there. I have to drink coffee. I'm so freaking cold. And I'm in the state of Florida. So I will tell you right now, I'm going to put this up there because we got to keep moving. My biggest thing is at this point, oops, sorry about that, is this is what I call the push stage. What do I mean by push? If you're trying to push something, you're trying to force it to happen. Most of you push so hard, you're getting calluses. Calluses. I love calluses. This is my natural weightlifting glove. You're pushing. You're like a UFC fighter. You're pushing, but you still don't quite know what you're doing. And that's the challenge, which basically turns into what? This is what I call kind of the deep grind. You're doing stuff, you're taking action, but you're not getting the results because you see all these YouTube videos, all these people like, I just sit on the beach and I flip properties. I don't do a damn thing. Push, guys, will not last. In fact, push after about the 60th day is going to create chaos in your life. How? Because I've already been through this phase. And every day I don't meet someone that comes on the live stream that does not have a problem. Push, guys, will only get you out the gate. A plan is a great one, Dante. Grit, sweat, equity, beautiful, perfect. These are push items: grind, hustle, grit, sweat, equity, all code words for push. We are going to have to make a shift going forward because this is where people are going, crap. I'm not sure about this. And so let me add another graphic. So for those of people who will get to the point, I just need the answer key, Rick. I don't need the lecture. You're getting one, buddy, but we're going to do it together. So here's what I want you to understand. This is why I left a little room down here. From the time you start to right about here, what's the word I want to do it? Oh, I know. This is what I call your emotional roller coaster. Because you have never learned how to manage your emotions, and business can be very, very brutal and very shocking if you're not used to being rejected, being told you don't know what to do, having your confidence shatter. And then this is what happens with your emotions. When you start, you're on like cloud nine, you're way up here. And then somebody gives you some advice and you take it and it doesn't work and you drop way down there. Oh, wait, that seller called me back. I'm going to come back up here. Oh my God, I got no deals. It's falling apart. Hey, wait a minute. Rick told me to market. I'm going to go back up here. Hey, wait, this guy told me I'm going to get sued. I shouldn't cold call. I'm scared. Oh my God, I got to make money because my wife's freaking out because we have no money. And you just keep going up and down this and you go, crap, I don't want to do this. Here's the problem, guys. I'm going to tell you right now. This is the problem. You have no emotional muscle. You are walking into the most uncomfortable situation you've had outside of physical uncomfortness in your life. And this is the problem. Most of you break at this point. You got to be patient. Anything good you want in your life is going to take time. Why would wholesaling be any other exception? If you can survive the emotional roller coaster and stop making instant decisions, I have to do marketing. I plan it 1 year in advance. I know I'm going to have some screwed up months. It doesn't bother me anymore. Do I still make adjustments? Absolutely. Some of you overreact and suddenly you get some of you get 15, 20 leads because you did like a really cool marketing thing and you freak out and you stop marketing and then you work on like, oh crap, that didn't work. And then you overreact. And then some of you go, this marketing doesn't work. Who here has heard someone go, I tried direct mail, it doesn't work? They don't understand it. Direct mail, if you can't put 3 months aside, 100% fail rate, 100%. Does everybody understand it? Do you really think you're going to cold call 100 people and hit it out of the park? You're going to have to survive. It doesn't mean you don't have emotions. It just means you manage the roller coaster. Okay. You have to flatline that sucker. Does everybody understand that? You have to flatline it. Let's keep moving. If you can't get out of your own emotional way and be brutally honest with yourself, you could do wholesaling, you sell insurance, you're going to have the same problem. It's a pattern. You're using your old personality to try to survive in wholesaling. I don't care how good your coach is. None of them ever managed the emotional roller coaster. And to be honest with you, in doing this 24 years, this just about took me out. If you can take it from that to just kind of being like this, don't get too high, don't get too low. This soon shall pass. All this will pass down here. All this will pass. So you got to just kind of go, okay, I'm not going to make a terrible decision based on this. And I'm not going to buy $100,000 in marketing because I think I'm going to make $1 million overnight. I find most people say they're either making $1 million or they're going to go broke. And that's the biggest challenge. So now here's the best part. Here's my favorite part, because most people don't understand this one. The 90-day, right? Crap. You've been at this 3 freaking months. So what do you want to call the 90-day stage? Because I have some thoughts on it, but honestly, the more opinions, the better, because I want people in the firefight. At 90 days, what do you think most wholesalers are like? What's the biggest? Honestly, some ramp it up from here, but let's be honest with you. To me, at 90 days, this is the critical stage where you're in or out. And honestly, I'm making a point here. If you're going to quit in 90 days of starting this, you should have never began in the beginning. I'm brutally honest with you. It sucks in the beginning. Remember as a child, the first time, like you don't remember the first time you learned to walk. Did your parents give up on you? So why is Rick and Zach going to give up on you? But if you quit, there's nothing I can do for you. This is where you're at the I'm giving up. Awesome, Labuena. The sprint to 90 days, that's great. The push through stage. This is where most people's confidence just shatters. It's scary. It's like, I call it the uh-oh stage. But this is the problem is you have to consistently take these actions every day that we teach you. And some of you aren't getting the desired results. All real estate is local. And what happens in my market might not work exactly in your market. There are tendencies, but your pricing's different. Your target audience is a little bit different and your real estate's a little bit different. So everybody has to adapt. If I come to your backyard, I'm going to have to adapt because I don't know the pricing models. I don't know the tendency. I don't understand basements. God forbid, I don't understand anything about ice and snow. I'm dealing with this one of my properties now and I'm freaking out because I got frozen pipes and I'm telling all these terrible bills that I have to pay because I don't understand why crap freezes. That's why I'm in Florida, I guess. That's why I drink coffee in the evening to like keep warm. So, this is, guys, I'm just going to simply call this the uh-oh stage. This is, I tell you what, I think a better one. I'm going to just call it the make or break stage. Now, some people are really excited this and they understand I'm on a journey. And think about any business that you started in any other aspect outside of working, even for an employer as an employee, you didn't know crap in the first 90 days. So why do you think you're going to master wholesaling? I believe you can make money within the first 90 days easily. But most of you are fighting the emotional roller coaster. You didn't get your why clear. Here's my why, guys, so you understand. I want freedom to spend time with my family on my terms, and I want to be financially free. That's it. Everything else in my life past my family was secondary. Netflix, which didn't exist when I started, get rid of it. Replace Netflix with learning, freewholesaling.com, whatever you want to do. I don't give a crap. Spend 2 hours on X leads as opposed to 4 hours on Netflix. You all have the exact same 24 hours. It's all about your priorities. So at the make it break it stage, what is the focus? What is the focus that we have to do here? At this point, you should be trying to figure out how to negotiate with sellers. You should have plenty of contracts by this point. Now you're meeting people in person. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's painful. Now, if you do wholesaling correct and you find people, remember we come back over this column, that need to sell, this gets a lot easier because I don't have to be this master salesman or a master closer. If you claim to be a master closer or a salesman, you're not finding people who need to sell. You're just trying to convince people who want to sell to take your offer, AKA a cash buyer. If you want to learn how to be a cash buyer, go to another channel. I'm not the guy. If you want to learn how to be a wholesaler, we buy low and we sell medium. If you have to convince a seller who wants to sell, you're going to have to buy medium and sell high, which basically means you're going to have to become a realtor. I don't play that game. It's just a waste of time. In fact, if you want to be a master negotiator and closer, there's much better fields than wholesaling. Wholesaling is a very very niche skill set. And it focuses all around your ability to market to find people that need to sell their house. It helps if they're off market and you're direct to seller. But negotiations, if you do at this point, you're just guiding them and you're walking them down a funnel. Once you do that, if you gain their trust by connecting with them and you solve their problem, negotiations is much easier. End of story. So at this point, you really have to start figuring out negotiations, because negotiations is secondary to marketing. Without marketing, negotiations doesn't exist. You want to train and do sales negotiating, sales training, you're going to have to just bury yourself with people who want to sell your house, and you're going to have to play the numbers game. And you're looking for like little baby discounts, and God bless you, because that's not wholesaling. And that's why most people fail in wholesaling, because they don't understand the order in which you learn how this business grows. I'm getting to $1 million, but if you can't figure out your first deal, don't even worry about the first million. We're going to get the numbers in this, I promise you. So at this point, the next thing is you have to start mastering the best way to learn negotiations is learn how to connect with people by building rapport. Now, I teach plenty of this, freewholesaling.com. Go over there. Rapport is your ability to connect with people. Because let's face it, people want to do business with they trust and they get along with, and they like them. And there's a big difference between selling a used car and connecting with a motivated seller that needs to sell their house. It's night and day, guys. One needs a salesperson, one needs a guide. If I want to buy a Lamborghini, I need a salesperson to stroke my ego and make me feel super good. If I need to sell my house, I need to gain your trust, and a problem has to be solved. That's it, guys. The only two things you need to master in wholesaling. So if I do marketing, I earn their trust, and I solve a problem, I make a crap load of money in wholesaling. But my God, Rick, this guy told me to go to MLS, and somebody told me to partner up with people and do this innovation thing. That's not wholesaling, guys. And this is where we've lost the fundamentals of wholesaling, and we have to understand how this works. And I'm going to keep coming back here. This is where you're going to have to, ready for this? Master marketing. You're going to get highly efficient. What do I mean by that? You're going to find the lists that actually work, and you're getting traction. You're getting responses. You're getting contracts on. Some of your marketing is not going to work. It is called trial and error. And this part is where you're going to have to master. You're going to have to evaluate. Ready for this? You're going to have to learn how to fail what I call forward. And if you don't figure this part out, you're done. You are part of that terrible, terrible stat. You have to fail forward. You see, most of you, at least this is my story, you can tell me in the comments, is you went through school and you learned if you failed something, it was terrible. You had to get your parents to sign it. It screwed up my GPA. So what do? We overstudy, we memorize stuff just to get through that test, to get by, to get a good GPA. Why? So we can get a good school, make our parents super proud, get a super crap load of debt, to go get a full-time job, to become a slave, a taxpayer, and pay these ridiculous taxes in the United States. I promise you, in 2026, if that's your plan, there's probably better countries to live in than the United States. Like, I'm just being honest. So you're going to fail. Listen to me. You are going to fail in wholesaling over and over. And the idea is the failures is what will actually lead to your success. If you spend your whole time in the first 90 days trying not to fail, it's just going to delay. It's going to push your 90-day window to at least 1 year. Does everybody understand that? I'm being brutally honest with you on this. Let's keep going here, because I want to work all the way up, because we'll draw out the numbers and stuff like that. So at this phase, what really drives? Here's the really cool part. This is the phase where you go from push to pull. Let me give you an example. Let me use young Zachary, my son, which he came in He was 3 years old when I started wholesaling. Well, I'm not going to spit it. He's 26. It's not a mystery. So when I took him out, when he got started in wrestling after his middle school year, 8th grade, there was a point where you take him to practice, and you know what I did? And so this is I love wrestling metaphors because it's, to me, it's the greatest high school sport. And by the way, women can do it too. Is It's the best metaphor for real business in life, in my opinion. Football's cool, but like you have to rely on it. The problem with wrestling is you're just exposed and alone. Like it's a weird feeling. At least on a football team, like I had like 43 other teammates that I could like lean on a little bit. Wrestling, it's you and the coach, and the coach ain't wrestling for you. So in the beginning, I'd take them to practice. We would work on things. I kept them motivated, and we went through this exact cycle, much longer though, 4 years, by the way. And then at some point, the light switched where he goes, okay, I'm gonna have to go to the gym by myself. I'm gonna find more talented people, and I'm gonna work out with people that push me, my peers. And after a while, he's getting up at the crack of dawn, going to the gym, running 5 miles, and then training with specialty coaches wherever he could drive his car. So I pushed him in the beginning, and at some point, he's like, Dad, I got it from here. This is where you guys got to take it and just run with it, man. Everything, your failures, what builds your successes in the long run. And without failure, there's no way to succeed in wholesaling. And most of you at this point, if you've struggled, you're so scared to fail, you don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to write a bad contract. You don't want to get a no. You don't want to use the method I teach you, go for no, because you're scared your feelings are going to get hurt. Well, guess what? Get your feelings hurt sooner than later. Honestly, we should just call this the David Goggins stage. This is where we separate the children from the adults. It's just the God honest truth. And at this point, here's my favorite part. If you can survive and do this in this similar order, this is, if you go to pull, it creates what we call discipline. And once you have discipline, now you have a business you can actually grow, prosper, and become as wealthy as you desire. And here's the best part, guys. A lot of you think, let me pull this up so I can see everybody. Everybody thinks, yeah, you're going to have to be vulnerable. I mean, look at all these, look at the comments. So I made my point earlier, and I didn't mean to embarrass the person. It was a legitimate thing, but that's the mindset when I come in these things. Rick, just give me the answer. I don't want to watch an 1.5 hour live stream. It bores me. Okay. Go to TikTok. Go to Netflix. Go to the bar. Because I didn't have TikTok back. That's what I did when I didn't know any better. And I love wholesaling. You could apply this to any part of your life. You're going to have to make sacrifices to get to that 90-day. Now, here's the best part. I'm giving you a time frame. I don't give a crap. It takes you 30, 90, or 180 days, 365 days. We all have different capacities. I have issues just like you guys. Do you think I'm any different? I already told you. I'm full ADHD. I can be all over the board. It's hard for me. And I have to work on it. I focus. I have to work with people to help guide my ADHD because it's a part of my personality. I do everything I can to manage it, but I am aware that part of my personality is what's made me a great wholesaler. Now, it's got negatives. If you got ADHD, you know what I mean. You can be easily distracted. And my son will sometimes just grab my head, Dad, pay attention. And I've learned when the phone is the biggest enemy right now. Constantly checking investments, constantly checking emails. And I've learned I struggle with this, but if you check your emails more than twice a day, like you've got issues. Like I'm just being honest with you. So we have to understand this is the part where we switch. We're going to fail. We're going to switch from pushing to pulling. And then this creates discipline because when you're pushing, it's all motivation. It's all excitement. It's all giddy, the honeymoon stage. And then here we are. So listen, we all got issues. It's just some people are better at hiding it than others. Would you guys agree? I don't hide my stuff. It's just, it is what it is. Because a lot of people ask me, Rick, how do you do wholesaling with ADHD? It will actually make you very good, but like you're going to have to manage the back end of it. Because I got so many things going on. And if an ADHD person, if you get too much stuff, you like freeze, you get overwhelmed. I focus on one task at a time and I go deep as I can. And I put blinders on unless it's a life-saving event. Otherwise, I'm screwed. And we have to understand that. So let's move forward because we got to keep this sucker moving. Now, on this one, let's jump forward to 120 days, and then we're going to make real progress after this. Then we're going to start jumping in 90-day blocks. Sorry about that. How do I move that sucker back up? Okay, well, you kind of get the gist on this. So on this phase, let's just go on this. If you survive and you're finally figuring out how to write contracts, and you're at this point, you should get some cash flow in your bank account. This is where you're going to go on the growth stage. This is where you're going to take all those 90 days you learn. And guys, if it's 90, 120, 180 days, do not obsess on the time. If you want to run a marathon, you just get better each practice session. Every day is a new practice session in wholesaling, and you have to master that. So in the growth stage, you're basically, once again, you are in marketing mastery. Now you know which lists work. You're going to tweak the list. You're going to expand. Maybe you're using AI, all the other stuff that we teach on that. And then you have simply learned how to, at this point, you are really going to master underwriting. What do I mean by underwriting? You're going to know exactly how to make an offer. You're going to figure out quick values. And guys, the lower you buy, the better. You understand that? I'm never going to tell you to be a master of comping because it doesn't exist. And then this is where we're going to add, this is where you're really going to have to start deep diving into dispo, because you got to get rid of these properties. And the same crap's going to come up. You're going to go, oh my God, I don't know how to dispo. I avoided dispo for 14, 15 months when I started wholesaling because I couldn't handle it. And it's not that I couldn't handle it. At that time, my maturity level could not process because I went so deep in the marketing. Then I went deep in negotiations. I go, I'm not even going to do dispo because I think that's the easiest in the long run. And so I would JV with everyone. And this is what I did when I did it. So if you understand this, once again, this is pulling. Now you're doing it like one of those, those farm trucks we do. And on this one, honestly, you're going to churn discipline plus consistency. So let me show you the secret on this one. I told you I could spell, and then I'm here. Let's just say you got to be consistent, whatever. You understand that. On this part of it, you have to understand this, that a lot of people have a misconception of how businesses work in wholesaling. So if you understand that, you have to understand that discipline is basically the art of doing something over and over until it becomes a habit and you eventually get a benefit from it. Working out, right? Who the heck enjoys sweating, getting in gym clothes, dealing with all that crap in the gym? And why do we do it? Because you're looking for an end result. The action is the working out. The end result is you look better, you feel better, you live longer, and you attract, let's be brutally honest, you just attract the better quality people in your life. But what's most important, you're doing it for yourself. You should do it for yourself. Don't do it for other people. They don't give a crap. Let them notice. My biggest pet peeve when people talk about weight, working out and eating better and losing weight, what's our human nature when we do this? And this is the same thing I see in wholesaling. Hold on, let me take this off the screen for a sec. Let me ask you, put it in the comments. If somebody's looking to get on a program, I'm going to make a ton of money in wholesaling, right? I'm going to lose weight. What happens in the first 30 days? Or really first 2 weeks, let's be brutally honest. I got a contract. I'm so excited. Did you get rejected when you offered? No, they took the first one. I couldn't believe it. You know what? You're probably overpaid for it. What? What do you mean I overpaid for it? I go, you're going to find out the hard way. Have you called your cash buyers? No, I'm too excited. I go, okay. I did get a contract 2 days ago. So you've waited 48 hours and you haven't contacted a buyer. Okay. So what happens when someone, say, goes on a diet? What happens after about 2 or 3 weeks? Without fail, 90% of people, what do they do? What do they do on social media? They go on a diet, they get on the scale the first time, like, oh my God. What do? They post it. I just lost 10 pounds. You're done. You're over. You're cooked. Was that the end result? You want to just lose 10 pounds? Or did you want to get that dopamine rush, right? Shut your mouth. The best people in wholesaling, here's what they do. They put in the work and they shut their mouth up on social media. Remember, I told you got to bury your ego, and then they move forward. That's the end of the story. And that's what you guys need to do. Stop bragging about your contracts. Go get another contract. Get another contract. Once you get 10 contracts and you close them, go nuts. But I'm just telling you, don't be that weight loss person. I just lost 10 pounds. You know what? That person posts 30 times. They've lost the same 10 pounds 30 times over. It's a vicious cycle. They don't understand what they're doing it. And you've got to recognize the pattern. Does everybody understand that? Please don't be that person. So let's keep fast forwarding here. At this point, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to add one thing down here that most of you can identify, hopefully at this point, is this is what I call the lonely stage. Why? Because most people don't make it past this 90 days. So this is the 120 days. And now we're going to go on to 180 days. Okay. And at this point, at the 180 stage, this is where we start doing what we call single scaling. This is where you're going to take all the skill sets you learned before this from here, from the honeymoon stage all the way to the growth stage. And now we're going to apply it and multiply it. Okay. And then here's the skill set you're going to need for this: systems. You're going to have to start to master systems. How do I put a good CRM together? How do I use AI to do a follow-up? All the fun stuff, we do that. And at this point, you're going to have to now start to do dispo mastery, because this is where you can blow up the money, because you're going to get more money on the back end, and you're eventually going to figure out how to buy the contracts lower. And that's where you can start making big spreads. Now, I can't change colors because I don't want to waste time here. How much money in the honeymoon stage? Let's be honest. Most of the times it's zero. They made $1 million in their head, right? When we get to the 30 to 60 day stage, someone had a one-hit wonder between 15 and 30K. And they're like, crap, how do I do that again? I don't know. And then at this one, they made zero. They might even lost money in their marketing. Okay. And now we're in the growth stage. And now they go, hey, crap, I just made another 25K. And just like you're in the emotional roller coaster, now you're in the financial roller coaster. One day I'm rich. The next day I'm poor. I might have to go back to work. My confidence gets shattered. And so this is where you're a little bit in the lonely stage here. But now you go, okay, listen, I'm confident I can get stuff done. I've just got to up my skill sets, and I got to get this out. So this is where you're going to have to go, ready for this, and hire some help. Now, once again, it's not set in stone when you do this. How do I know when to hire help? When I'm buried, when I'm spending more time doing everything but what? Marketing, working on my systems, and going from there. And I'm just telling you is, to me, this is honestly, this right here was my biggest struggle in wholesaling. I wanted to control everything. And I'm telling you, some of you guys want to control everything. What's my drive at this stage? I want to do better. How can I grow this outside of me? And this is the key word. How do I get past me at this point? Okay. And at this point, you're probably averaging, if you're doing it right, 30 to 40K. You're going to have some bad months in there. I know this. Like, I fluctuated for the first 2 years. One day I was rich, the next day I was poor. And this is where you're at. This is 180 days. Now, what I'm going to do is jump over. I got to figure out how to do this. Let's just jump to the last part, the second part of the year, because hopefully some of you guys are in this one. And I'm just going to make this simple so I don't have to do a million drawings. This is the second cycle, and it's basically, we'll break it down to 3 sections. So everything up this point, let's call this 240 days. We'll call this 300 here, and then we'll call this 365. And so if you survive that first 6 months, I'm impressed. Most people do not make it out of wholesaling past 90 days because they bring their old broken mindset and they can't move forward. This stage right here, guys, is what I call marketing madness. This is where you start doing crazy stuff. What do I mean? I'm going to do direct mail. I'm going to do my SMS. I'm going to do everything I humanly possibly can. I'm going to do digital marketing. I'm going to scale all this, and now I'm going to start spending money. I'm going to do a cold call center. And at this stage, oops, I don't know why it's doing that. You start to spend some money on marketing. How much? At this stage, you're probably spending around $3 to $5K a month. Why? Because you figured out what the ROI was. And at this stage, you can consistently do $50K a month. If you'll invest in yourself, you'll be massively consistent and you will keep it going. Now, this part is what I call the maxpreneur. This is where you're going to maximize everything you can do by yourself. Why? Because there's a limit in what one person can do. God knows I've learned this the hard way. What do I mean by that? Your number one thing is you're going to have to learn how to train others, what you do, and they're never going to be at your skill set. If you can just give them the 50% of what you do, that's great. It is extremely painful training people if you've never done it. And this is this is where you're going to learn how to be a business person. Because if not, you're going to be stuck. You're going to work 70, 80 hours a week and you're going to burn out and you're going to quit. So you're going to have to train and you're going to have to basically keep educating yourself. You never stop learning in wholesaling. I've been in this business 24 years. You have to continue to educate. And at this point, you have people that work for you. Maybe it's one to three people. Doesn't matter. You are still doing all the acquisitions. Every person will tell you, go hire an acquisitions manager. You got to be kidding me. This is the number one skill set you've learned. Hire marketing people, hire back-end people, hire transaction coordinators, but for God's sakes, do not outsource your acquisitions. And the final stage, because I want to answer a bunch of questions on this, if you survive to this point, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, it's extremely rare. This is where you become a business owner. This is where you turn wholesaling into a real business. How? You have to pull in $83K a month. That's it. That's going to equal, ready? $1 million. But some of you guys want to make it in the first 30 days, and you're not going to do it. You're going to be all over the board on income. 1 month, you're going to earn 0. The next month, you're going to earn 10K. Then you're going to earn 5K. Then you're going to earn 0. Then you're going to get a $50,000 check. You're going to be super stoked, and you're going to let marketing fall off, and then you're going to start all over again. And then you go back to 10. And then maybe you learned a little bit better on 15, and then you steadily grow it to like 83K. That's all it takes. But guys, at the end of the day, if you can't get to your first deal, don't worry about $1 million. It ain't going to happen. And at this point, the final stage is you have to learn how to become a leader. And you're going to have to make decisions that are so painful. It's going to hurt. And the only way you know you're growing in life is when you're making uncomfortable decisions on a regular basis. Once it becomes comfortable, you're not growing and you're going to suffer massively. And if you don't understand that, so Brian says right here, 83K a month is crazy. And Brian, I'm going to be honest with you, I used to be in your exact mindset. So Brian, just to let you know, I do that in less than a week. And I came from a regular, not a blue collar worker. I did sales for a corporate company that just ran me under the bus till I constantly like hired other people and you had to struggle to fight to get that 5% raise. If you told me I could make 83K in a week, I would have laughed out I would have just laughed and fallen out of my chair. To be honest with you, 83K doesn't even excite me in a week anymore. And I'm not doing that. I've been doing this 24 years, guys. Like, do you really think I got rich overnight? I went through some brutal pains in my life. And my biggest problem is once I figured out wholesaling, I thought I could do everything myself. I struggled with that. I struggled to hire, train, and I avoided leadership at all costs. Why? Because I was selfish. And you guys are going to have to go through it. But I'm telling you, 83K, you think 83K is a month? That would not like cover my bills, like not even close. I'm talking about my business bills. And I'm the farthest guy from being the most successful guy. I've just broke the cycle in my family. My son, he would laugh at that. Like 83K a month, like he would consider himself broke. So we all, and by the way, I'm not picking on you. I had the worst mindset in that. If I could just make 10K in a month, I just thought it was the greatest thing in the world. 10K turned into 15, 20. And then I had times where it tumbled off and I had to learn how to become wildly disciplined to create consistency. And then I struggled on how to lead teams because when it got tough, you had to make very uncomfortable decisions. You had to fire people, you had to hire people, you had to make large investments, and you had no idea if it's going to work out. Does anybody like see the correlation of how we do this? If you're looking, a lot of people are like, oh, well, someone's offering me a course for $5,000. I'm nervous about it. And you should be, because you don't know, if you don't know what the course is, what the materials are, and what their success ratio is, you're being led in the dark. And that's the problem with most of the training. Now, I do support coaching and mentorships because I do it myself. But as a newbie, it's ridiculous because I already know most people that come in the wholesaling don't have the mindset to survive it. And if you can't fix your mindset like the guy in the beginning of this live stream, just get to the point. Okay, here's the point. Make 83K a month and you'll be a millionaire wholesaling. That's all you need to know. Market, market, market. Go out, talk to as many people, earn their trust, solve their problem, repeat, do it over, scale your business. That's all you need to know. That's not going to help any of you. Do you really think it's that easy? I love this business, but I'm just telling you, I had to get my first deal. I had to get my first $3,000. That was my proof of concept. And after that, I just kept failing forward. And guys, did I follow the perfect time frame? Absolutely not. And I'm scared that people go, if I don't make it in 90 days, I'm going to quit. Come on, man. We're better than that. Most of the risk is 90 to 120 days. You start doubting yourself and you have to constantly take the actions. You have to pull the marketing list. You have to get the government list. And when you're doing that and you're not getting contracts and they're not resulting to profit in your bank account, it sucks. But what if I told you just have to keep going and keep pressing? Like, I gotta tell you, when I started out wrestling, I was not a good wrestler when I started. I was actually pretty bad because I came off the football team. I didn't understand it. And I had to put in a year and a half of work before I even won my first match. Yeah, like a year and a half before I could even win. And I got humiliated, embarrassed in everyone. It was the greatest training ground for wholesaling. And if I could put you all in a match, I'm not going to Andrew Tate you, but like you guys, you've got to be tested. And the harsh truth, most of you haven't been tested. And when you get tested, you freak out. So I'm telling you right now, if you will take the energy and just put it out there, you can do amazing things in wholesaling. And I'm never going to back down from this because I train so many people and I talk to them, and the people that just want the fastest shortcut and they want to get stuff done, they all get crushed. And if I can get rid of those people from coming in, I know the numbers would be like 80% success rate. Why? How does somebody make it in wholesaling and somebody doesn't? Honestly, it's just the desire to move forward, be terribly uncomfortable, and learn from it and grow. So I've been in this business 24 years. There's not a month that goes by that I'm not uncomfortable. Do you guys understand that? I've been put in some of the most craziest situations. I've been confronted. I got people doing expose videos saying I've never wholesaled. Like, are you? Listen. I'll put my HUDs against yours any day of the week. Like, just because I don't sit there and throw everything out. Like, I have a full staff. I have an office. I have everything. I've trained my son how to do it. How many other people go, okay, and listen, not everybody's meant to be in wholesaling, but like you got a ton of kids and not one of them's in your business. Like, how great of a legacy are you really leaving? Is it, did you build it for yourself or did you build it for others around you? And the one thing I learned with my son is I just teach him the basics and fundamentals of wholesaling, how to find motivated sellers that need to sell their house. If you can stick to the clarity of what you need to do, you can make as much money as you want in wholesaling. And I'm just telling you, some of you guys are talking such advanced strategies. I talk to people all over the country, especially when I travel, and I just say, and the people that are most critical are the ones that never have ever done a deal. Oh, I would never do that or that. I go, I like to do, I'm really good at doing creative deals, stuff like that. I go, so great. How many have you done? He goes, well, I got 2 under contract. That means 0. I know how to like read through the lines. And until we're brutally honest with where we are and where we need to get forward, do you think I was any less uncomfortable than you are right now? To like, how am I going to survive holes? Like, holy crap, what do I need to do? Here's the problem is I waited almost 11, 12 years till my frustration hit a point. I go, I'm done. My back's against the wall. I got nowhere to go up but up from here. And if I can get you through that, anybody could survive wholesaling. But most of the people I deal with have a weak mindset. They think it's a get rich quick scheme. I'm here to tell you wholesaling is not get rich quick. It is the greatest opportunity to create wealth if you don't come from anything. If your education's lacking, I don't care. The education is wholesaling because that crap you learned in school will just get you a good job. You'll pay your taxes and you will help build somebody else's dream. So I'm telling you, like, I have changed the foundation of how my family perceives me, how I take care of my family, and a true leader. Do you think I could have taught Zach everything I know without being forged every day and stepping through all these crazy failures and just go, okay, one more day, I can make it one more day. Because one day, here's what to do. Here was my drive. My whole drive was what? What was my why in wholesaling? To spend more quality time and have control of my time with my family and become financially free. And if you just get in it to make a crap load of money, it'll never work. Go find some scam. Anybody comes in and says wholesaling is a scam, it means you're scared. I get it. I get it. You earn $70,000 a year in your career, and I'm trying to tell you how to make 100 grand a month, and you automatically discount it because it's a scam because it makes you feel vulnerable and you doubt your own ability to make money. So you're going to call it a scam. The minute people call wholesaling a scam, I just laugh. I go, I get it. You're a closed-minded person. Go back to your job, go build your boss's dream and move on. So I had a job for 12 years, guys. I know it. So I love this business. And I recently did an event where I finally got on stage and I did my first brag I did in 24 years in wholesaling. And all I did was point to my son. And I can't find any other person that leads this business that can do that. Now, a lot of them are bringing up a new generation and I know they're going to change the world with it. But I went through a phase in wholesaling where nobody taught their kids wholesaling because they thought it was too brutal. And I just wanted to make a change. And so here's the difference. We can talk about what we're going to do. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get HUDs. I got 10 properties under contract. The difference is show them what you're going to do. Don't tell them because telling is just feeding egos. It makes you feel well, gives you the dopamine rush, but it's very short-lived. And it is painful to keep your mouth shut and grind away with all the processes I just showed you. How do you think it to $1 million? It's not that hard to get to $1 million. And by the way, I've seen people do it within 1 year. Full disclosure, it took me 3 years. 3. I got ADHD. I did it the hard way. You guys know that. So I'm telling you right now, you can make that difference. So let's jump on. Let's answer a bunch of questions. If you have a question, just stick it in the chat right now because the entire board's loaded. By the way, people like, where's Zach? As you know, us being the largest, we own 2 of the largest wholesaling groups in the entire world. Yes, I'm telling you, marketing makes a difference. And by the way, I've never done one paid ad. We are now a case study for Mr. Alex Hormozy on how you grow the largest wholesaling community without spending one dime. And I teach these same tactics to you on how to master your wholesaling business. Some of you just jump on it and I love it. Other of you question of it. And other people like that go, just give me the answer. So Alex, I'm sorry, Zach is spending the weekend with Alex, and he gets a one-on-one and gets to ask him questions um, from our group that we run privately. We let them pick out the question, and you guys will hear all about it. So if you look behind me, I'm not gonna. It's too damn heavy. That is the hardware you earn from like that. We love people like Alex Hermosi. I love Tony Robbins. Anyway, wholesaling will change your life and make you grow. So that's where Zach is. It was important to us. And we've done something nobody else has done in this entire country. And by the way, there's hundreds and hundreds of wholesaling groups. And I want you to understand, being with me and Zach, all we do is talk about marketing and wholesaling. I don't have anything else to pitch to you. Am I good at other stuff? I'm really good at fishing. And I love fishing. It's a great distraction for me. I love the UFC. I do enjoy football. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is my family and getting an end result to do whatever I want when I want. And I had to make a major, major sacrifice. Um, so by the way, it's funny. Um, we do have merchandise. I'm not going to put it up in here. I don't want to distract it. I actually sell it at cost. Um, and if you go over to our school group, I will post it tonight and show where you can get all that stuff. I get a lot of people that buy it and I don't even make it public. And I appreciate Mark. Mark's a great guy. I got to get out to Vegas. I believe Zach's in California. He was trying to work his way to Vegas, but Zach is yeah, you'll see. It's great stuff, man. And I'm so excited for the future of my son. I'm so impressed with what he does. Because listen, all I did was light a spark and I led. And by me taking that risk and making that crazy ass dream of not trying wholesaling, making wholesaling a must is the reason I'm sitting here presenting in front of you. And I love this business. I love this business. But man, you are really going to have to bring it. So let me answer some questions. You got a question, put it in there. And I've been babbling and babbling. My ADHD sometimes gets the best of me. I love this business, guys, but like everybody wants to teach you the most advanced strategies. If you can't understand how to get out the gate, don't worry about it because you will not get it. So Pat's talking about the changes with cold calling. I would still register, do exactly what you're doing. If you guys missed the live stream, we did it last week. Apple iPhone is trying to combat all the spam, all the cold calling, and they've got heavy, heavy filters. And if you do not follow the registration process that we have at like X Leads, none of your calls are going to get through. And on top of that, they added a screening filter, and about every 4 or 5 days, it pops up on my iPhone. I got to find a way to disable like the notification. Hey, do you want to screen your calls? And about 10% of the calls I make, I have to announce my name and telling them why I'm calling them. Now, my ADHD kicks me if like I don't even want to talk to you. I'm not going to go through that crap. But imagine that from a marketing standpoint, it's brutal. So let's see here. Will says, I'm a full-time parent. That's awesome. Working W-2. I got you on both of those. Struggling with consistency. I'm dedicated to be consistent from here on out. Thank you. So guys, we just got to change. Like we have to understand the way we did old stuff, the way we were raised. Most of your internal programming, it was all designed by the time you're 8 years old. Your fears, a lot of your disabilities, whatever you want to think it, there's no such thing as a disability. It's just your tendencies. ADHD is not a disease. By the way, anxiety is not a disease. We just made it. Do you think I have any less anxiety than anybody else on this live stream? You got to be kidding me, right? It's just how do we manage it, right? And the best thing I can do is be present with my family, provide them opportunities, and give guidance to my children. Even though my children are adult, I still love them till the day I die. That's just my nature. And I know most of you want to do it that way, but we have to lead. So we have to lead our family, we have to lead our children, and we have to lead our businesses. And if you're just getting started in wholesaling, you can lead it. How do you lead it? Get going. If you make excuses, it's just a waste of time. I have zero, listen to me, I have zero tolerance to people give me an excuse. What does an excuse do for you at the end of the day? Does it buy you time? The only thing excuse does is make you feel good at the moment. It will never solve your long-term problem. And once people start spitting excuses, I will always give them leniency because they don't understand. They haven't been there. But when the excuse train starts, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Why? Because I can't help you. If that's your mindset and you're stuck in yourself and you don't want to change, excuse is going to help you revolve the door and it's never, ever going to stop. And we have to understand that. So Don puts up here, I wanted to answer this one. Is there a way we can do this without EMD? Absolutely. EMD is not, I know everybody thinks EMD is a requirement. Do you know the first 2 years, I didn't put down one EMD in wholesaling. Why? I didn't even know what the hell it was. So I didn't make it a big deal. Someone's like, "You're going to put down a deposit?" I go, "Why?" To be fair, I leave deposits now. But in the beginning, why didn't I leave a deposit? Because I didn't have any money. So, and it's possible to use the best place to get between $100 and $500 for EMD. Get a partner, cut them in. That's the best way to do it. In fact, if you got a great deal, I'm more than happy to fund your EMD. It's minor, and there's even companies that will fund your EMD. I'm not big on that type of stuff. But we have to understand you can't let EMD be your obstacle. And if your obstacle, you can't figure out how to get through it, number one, go over to freewholesaling.com. And number two, get resourceful. Find partners, find family. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you to use a credit card because I always hate that crap. But we have to understand an EMD has never stopped me from doing a deal, ever. Let me ask you, if you could buy a property 20 cents on the dollar, say it's a $200,000 property and they offered it to you for 40 grand, but they required a $25,000 deposit. Would you go, I can't do the deal. I'm done. No, find a way to get through it. Just find a partner and cut them in, because if you walk away, you make zero. If you bring in a partner, whatever, split it with them, do whatever you got to do. In the beginning, I had to have people take tremendous risks. So I had to give them a reward. In fact, my first partner was 90-10. He got 90%. I found the deals. He funded it because I didn't know any other way. And I got a measly 10% after expenses. Painful, right? Does everybody understand that? Like there's always ways to get through it. So I just don't make, I find if you don't make EMD like a cliffhanger, like, oh my God, what am I going to do? It's like an EMD. I go, listen, all the EMD is, it opens up the file, they run the title, and you're going to get cash at the end of the day. Let's focus on what you're going to get in the end, the net result. EMD, honestly, it's technically refundable. We just got to get this process started. And I'm going to be honest with you, the higher the EMD wants, I would start to question what the seller's motivation is. Are they truly motivated? They need to sell because people need to sell. Honestly, they don't get hung up on the EMD. Now, this is where it's usually a problem. When you have a realtor involved, they are so focused on EMD, they will never get past it. And that's one of the biggest problems we see. So, it's, I'll see register owner or, okay. There's so many questions in here. So guys, most of these questions I put on the bottom of the screen here. It's at freewholesaling.com and you can find the answers to it. So we'll be sharing some information with you next week on all Zach's travels and everything he's doing. So it'll be a lot of fun. And guys, listen, I love wholesaling. I think people complicate the crap out of it and they try to make that like this mystify. I'm going to make a ton of money. And it's just really not hard. Most of you guys just can't get out of your own head. Remember, I always tell you, help sellers get out of their own way. But like they say when you're on the plane, if in the event the oxygen mask drops, you have to put it on you before you put it on the child. Because if you can't operate, that child has no chance. And you have a choice right now. You have a choice. You can either lead by example. And how do you do that? You show and stop telling people what to do. If you want somebody, a friend or a family member to lose weight, look at yourself first. Stop going, you need to lose weight. I go, dude, like I could probably lose a few pounds. And you know what? By you becoming healthier, you do it for you first, always you first. If you lead by example and that family member or that friend goes, wow, you look really good, Joan. How did you do that? You go, I just worked on myself. If you'd love, I'll show you how I did it. That's so much more effective than going, you just need to lose weight. Like, you don't look good. You just got to stop eating. That person will go in such a funk. Or when someone's constantly broke, listen, my first 7 years of wholesaling, nobody gave me the time of day, even though I made very good money. Now it's like standing room only at my door. There's not a day that goes by someone's not standing at my door trying to do business with me or asking me for a loan or I want to be your partner. I want to be this. Where the hell were you when I was out there grinding 7 years and nobody gave me the time of day? Once again, I just did it and I led, I showed. And the people that tell and constantly brag about how wealthy they are and stuff, I don't believe them for a minute. Because truly wealthy people really don't have to tell people they're wealthy. They just show it. And it's not fancy cars and boats, although it's impressive. They show it by the time they spend with their family and the quality of the person they become. Because money will never make you happy, but it sure will give you options, and options allow you to free. I was a train wreck when I started wholesaling, and it has helped me so much in my personal growth and everything I do. But it's, guys, everything you need is at freewholesaling.com. Everything you need. Last one here. I got this one up. What's up, Tyler? Hey, Rick, I got my first deal locked up. It's outside my normal range, so I don't think my cash buyers are going to go out for it because it's in a rural. So you're going to need time to market that, because when you get in rural areas with smaller populations, there's less demand for that property. So it's going to take a higher energy of marketing to sell it, which means more time. So just keep that in mind. So hopefully you don't have like 10 days to sell it, and we can go from there. Hopefully that helps you out with that. So awesome, guys. I will be on, what's tomorrow? I will put a post on school, and I'll give you a store to the swag if you want to get any of the merchandise. Remember, I sell it at cost. Eventually, I'd like to raise it for a charity. I got to get someone to help me out with it. So maybe I could get somebody in the group or do something like that. But guys, make sure if you enjoyed today's live stream, make sure the best compliment you can pay to me and Zach is hit that subscribe button. The best thing you can do. And guys, listen, I don't care what your excuse is. Get rid of it. And if you really want to do wholesaling, I've just showed you how to lay out the thought process to get to that $1 million. I showed you the yo-yo effect. Most of you, I'm going to be honest with you, are going to struggle from that 90 to 120 day period. As David Goggins says, whoever can hold their breath the longest is going to win. And remember, I started out in the influencer space by giving everything away for free. Me and Zach were the only persons that gave away everything free. I was told I would never make it. You're going to choke. You're right, because I run a wholesale business. I don't run a coaching business. And once I know, if I've already survived, 17 years wholesaling on my own, and I've already had plenty of assets, dude, the rest of it's just cake work for me. And most people do it the opposite way. They get successful for a few years wholesaling, and then they switch to full-time coaching. God bless you. I've watched hundreds and hundreds of coaches come in and out of this business. And 2026, I've noticed a massive vacancy in wholesaling. You know why? Because their coaching programs are really struggling. And when those struggle, the income struggles, and remember, you have to lead by example. You have to actually do the business. So remember, I only teach wholesaling. Anyone else want to teach you how to be a cash buyer? Not my business. And I teach differently than most people because I've been in the business, one of the longest running wholesalers out there. In fact, there's only about a handful of people have done what I did, and I give them all the credit in the world because it's not the easiest business to survive. You have to stick to the fundamentals. I've survived the greatest markets and the absolute worst markets all in my 24-year period. I owe it all the wholesaling guys. Check it out, freewholesaling.com. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys on the net, man.